of stiff man syndrome, of Woltman's sign and the delayed reflex relaxation and mixed edema, in the cerebral changes seen in pernicious anemia, in isolated peripheral nerve vasculitis, and in the clinical pathologic correlation that's often shortened to Kernahan's notch. Dr. Woltman's clinical skills have certainly given us much of what's come to be associated with Mayo Clinic neurology, and you'll see many of the former Woltman Award recipients are here in the room tonight. We have a list of a few of them here. Be careful because you have a high chance of ending up on the staff, I guess, if you're on this list. In 1966, this award was created to, I quote, be given to the neurology resident or fellow who demonstrates superior ability and performance in the field of clinical neurology in regard to careful observation of clinical phenomena, sympathetic care of patients, and initiative in teaching of clinical neurology. The recipient is selected by all of the Mayo neurology staff. This year, the Woltman Award is presented to Dr. Maisha Robinson.
Maisha will barely get a chance to get to her table before I'm going to bring her back. Each year, one resident is chosen by his or her colleagues to present the resident's address. And this year, the residents have selected Dr. Robinson to present on behalf of the trainees. Thank you.
So, you know, there have been many major events in the last week. Oprah's final show, the American Idol winner was crowned, Biggest Loser winner was announced. And you know, when you looked at these interviews and people said, what are you thinking about? What's on your mind? How are you feeling? They all said, you know, this is the end of one journey. But I'm so excited about the next one because I know that the best is yet to come. And so I say tonight to you all, the best is yet to come. And you say, Maisha, what do you mean the best is yet to come? Come on. We've had such a great 4 years here. The best is yet to come? You know, you're right. We have had a good time. I mean, in 4 years, we've gotten engaged. Yeah. We've met a nurse, gotten engaged, and gotten married in 4 years. We've had a baby. We've had multiple babies. We've traveled the world, both independently and on Mayo. Those are conferences, of course. And so, you know, after thinking about it, you're right. We've had good times. And you say, Maisha, we've also learned from some of the best. You know, I really can't argue with that. We've learned about the default mode network. We've learned new vocabulary, super fantastic. Thanks for asking. We've learned how to get a CT perfusion scan done at 2 a.m. Thanks to Jen. We've learned how to get ED patients admitted to the neurology service. We've learned that if you go to Alfred 7 at 5:30, you're too early. If you go at 6:30, you're too late. We've learned that no matter how well prepared you think you are for Wednesday morning conference, Dr. Veneros will stump you. We've learned how to manage emergencies and also functional gait disorders and non-epileptic spells. We've gotten really good at figuring out how to get that one overflow consult added to tomorrow's list. We learned how to carry 1 million tools. Speech cards, language cards, NIH stroke scale score cards. All this with no pockets. We've learned how to find the 2 relevant pages of information out of hundreds of outside records for that 658 direct admission. We've learned how fast you need to be in continuity clinic to be the first one out the staff. We've learned neuroscience, well, some of us. We've learned neuropathology and neurophysiology. We've learned to distinguish dysarrhythmias. Dysarthrias. Or at least we know they have a dysarthria. But on a serious note, we've learned that sometimes two heads are better than one. That calling a colleague in the middle of the night, hoping that they're up, might actually be helpful. We've learned that running something by someone can actually save you. We've learned that nurses can save us before we make a really bad mistake. Most of all, we learned how to provide excellent patient care. We learned this is a great place to train. We learned there are no better staff from which to learn. But even despite all that, I tell you, I still think that the best is yet to come. Just think, it'll be fun to say that we knew each other when we published our first papers, when we gave our first platform presentation. Or how about when we saved that 15-year-old girl who was in status epilepticus with prolonged QT syndrome? Or what about the 50-something-year-old guy who came into the ER comatose from a basilar artery thrombosis, who walked out of the hospital with minor deficits? Our patients have been appreciative, they've thanked us, and some of them have even come back to say, you were awesome. But it'll be even better to say that I know you when you become editor-in-chief of a major journal, when you head your own research lab, when you become a leader in your respective area in neurology. So we don't know what the future's gonna hold, but I'll propose tonight, and just go with me, that the best is really yet to come. Thank you.